So this morning I've been asked to reflect on my time as chair. I stand here before you, awed by the rich history and legacy created and developed over the last 50 years by you, the LeadingAge members. As we celebrate our golden anniversary this year, the first wave of the baby boomers have already begun to celebrate their golden years. Now, these should be golden moments for them. However, we know that there are social, economical, and political factors that can tarnish what should be those golden moments. So we celebrate our 50th in a city filled with monuments of ordinary people who took on extraordinary purpose. People who looked at the world and made a change. People just like you and me. 2 years ago, I shared that if we, the LeadingAge family, want to make the world a better place, then we individually and collectively must look at ourselves and make a change. I also shared that if we want to create the future of aging services and expand the world of possibilities, then we must act with the spirit of intentionality to become more inclusive and enhance our advocacy efforts. Well, I'm delighted to share with you that someone was listening. And it is evident that we have, in fact, taken a look at ourselves and made a change. The first and most notable change is our new name, LeadingAge. And while we continue to be an association of those providing services to seniors, we are, and quite frankly, always have been, LeadingAge. And not only have we changed our name, but the majority of our state affiliates have changed their names also, creating synergy and brand recognition on a national scale. Together, we've effected so many monumental changes these last 2 years. We've restated our mission to expanding the world of possibilities for aging. We've improved the alignment agreement between the National Association and the state partners to enhance the value you receive as members. We've also transitioned from a House of Delegates to a Policy Congress whose sole focus is engaging members to inform policy issues. We've created a national group purchasing corporation known as Value First. Now, this corporation is jointly owned by State Association and LeadingAge. This will allow us to harness our combined purchasing power to save you money and to support our respective state associations. And finally, we've welcomed Dr. Cheryl Phillips, a geriatrician and health policy expert, to lead our advocacy team. Now, from an advocacy perspective, the inclusion of class is one of the most important external advocacy efforts in our history. Class started as a concept and ended as part of the Affordable Care Act. In short, class will provide its beneficiaries the gift of choice. Now, I know this week there's been a lot of class news going around, but the bottom line is we must continue the fight. Other advocacy efforts include the passage of Senate Bill 118 to transform the 202 program, and there's also been some news about that. But again, we must continue the fight. Our united support for Mission Ridge and its successful tax exemption fight, and those are just a few of the advocacy successes we've had. Yes, you can see that we've taken a look at ourselves and made a change. And I'm happy that these changes occurred on my watch, but the reality is I can't take credit for any of them. Each of the changes referenced earlier have been the result of very intentional and inclusive and collaborative processes. For instance, All LeadingAge members had the opportunity to participate and weigh in and vote on the name change. Each state partner had the opportunity to give input and deliberate around the alignment agreement and value first. And the board and the House of Delegates spent several meetings discussing mission, vision, and our newly formed strategic imperatives. Now, all of these changes are the result of the LeadingAge family, sharing your thoughts, your ideas, your opinions, and making your voices heard. But the fact of the matter is, all of these voices would have fallen on deaf ears had it not been for the mechanism for receiving and processing your individual and collective thoughts not been established. Thus, while it has been an inclusive effort, I have to take my hat off and acknowledge the ongoing, continuous, nonstop support, knowledge, insight, and vision of the LeadingAge staff. In a word, phenomenal. This dream team, led by Larry Minix, enabled us, the LeadingAge, to be LeadingAge. And let me tell you, this dream team is definitely worthy of your praise. In spite of these successes, if it is truly our mission, brothers and sisters, to expand the world of possibilities for aging, so that we can honor and care for those who have drunk longest and deepest from God's bountiful cup, then we must continue to press toward the mark. For it is imperative that in this economic and political environment, where conversations of everything senior is on the table, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, HUD 202 reforms abound, that we continue to make our voices heard. Because I've read that faith without works is dead. And if we sit idly by, then we deserve what we don't get. It's hard-hitting, I know. And it will also be hard-hitting to the seniors if we don't lift our voice. I therefore ask for your enhanced effort, support, and participation. And I also know that as I transition away, that there will be no chair that's finer than Miss Audrey Weiner. That's a joke, y'all. You can laugh, it's okay. But with all seriousness, Audrey will without question provide and bring principled leadership in the midst of these uncertain times. And please also allow me to thank Mr. Don Stump, the president and CEO of Christian Church Homes, the CCH family, and especially the accounting and finance team for allowing me to take advantage of this opportunity to serve LeadingAge. I also want to thank the CCH advocacy team, Jeffrey Morgan, Priscilla Haynes, Donna Murphy, for being instrumental in bringing 80 residents, 80 seniors, to advocate at our state capitol. And let me also thank my predecessor, Mr. Tom Slimmer, for his knowledge and expertise, guidance, and counsel along the way. Tom, you are a great leader, and more important than that, I truly value your friendship. We are here in DC because of a resident by the name of Gene Wright, who served on the LeadingAge board several years ago. When we were pondering where to have our 50th celebration, Gene stated, "Why don't we have it in DC, the place our association calls home?" And the board agreed. Now, Jean, being the first resident on our board, was not intimidated to be in the boardroom with aging services professionals. Jean struggled at times with the mobility issues, but she never missed a board meeting. In spite of her difficulties getting around, Jean relished the chance to walk the halls of the state and national capital to help tell our story. I can remember like it was yesterday, there was one board meeting in DC, Futures Conference, where Jean fell. She bruised her leg, she hit her head. But that fall did not break her spirit. In fact, Jean was at the next board meeting helping LeadingAge to make the world a better place. So when you look at the man or woman in the mirror, I want you to remember the tenacity, the determination and commitment of Jean Wright, who in spite of her frailty did all she could, gave all she had to make the world a better place. Two years ago, when we started this journey, I asked you to take a look at the man or woman in the mirror and to make a change. In these unprecedented times, I believe we need to have a deeper reflection. Because I realize that oftentimes it is the things that we see that blinds us. So what I ask you to do is please close your eyes, everyone in the room, and reflect upon someone your senior that made you feel special, feel cared for, and feel loved. Someone that carried you in their arms. Someone that walked you where you needed to go. Someone that communicated your needs even when you didn't know what they were. Brothers and sisters, can you see them? Can you visualize their smile and their nurturing, caring spirit? Well, my brothers and sisters, members of the family of humanity, now is the time for reciprocity. In this current environment with everything senior on the table, each of us should see the urgent need for action. So let us be their arms to carry their issues and concerns. Let us be their hands to write letters. Let us be their legs to walk the halls of our state and national capitals. And most importantly, LeadingAge family, let us be their voice. Let us be their voices to tell their story. Reciprocity. Reciprocity. It has been an honor, and I am humbled to have served as your chair. And from the innermost part of my heart, I wish you a very warm and sincere thank you. Hey, guys.